Welcome. Today we're going to talk about division and factoring of polynomials. Our goal is to factor polynomials and also divide polynomials. For now, we're just going to divide them by monomials, constants, and also terms that have a variable in them. All right, let's get started. So a quick recap here. We have two terms. They're just two separate monomials, and we're going to find the greatest common factor between them. What we can do is write them in expanded form, so we can factor 10 into its component, 10x cubed into its component parts. So it's 2 times 5. That gives me my 10 right here. This is 10. And then I have x times x times x. That's x cubed. Okay. And then next, I will break down 25x squared into 5 times 5 is 25 times x, that's x squared, right? So there's my 5s, there's my x squared. And we can look at what they have in common. So as I look at both of them, there's only one 5 here, and I have a 5 there. So for sure, 5 is a factor of both of these terms. Then I have two x's there, x times x, and so there's at least 2 there. So x squared is a common factor. It's the greatest common factor between both of those terms. And when in doubt, we're going to use this method to break up our polynomials. So our next question is, how do we divide a polynomial by a monomial? So up here we got our polynomial, 6x squared plus 10x, that's a binomial. We have our vinculum here, that's our fraction bar, divided by 2x. I'm going to rewrite this in a way that makes it easier to see what we're going to do next. This is really just 6x squared divided by 2x plus 10x divided by 2x. I'm going to rewrite these and expand them out. Factor the 6 as 2 times 3 times x over 2 times x plus 2 times 5 times x over 2 times x. And this is from factoring. We can just cancel out, right? So instead of going into the quotient rule of exponents, we can cancel out the factors that are in common in the numerator and the denominator, because this is really 2 divided by 2, which is 1, x divided by x, which is 1, and my leftover is 3 times x. Okay, the same thing here. 2 divided by 2 is 1, x divided by x is 1, and my leftover is 5, so I have plus 5. And this is how we can do division of a polynomial by a monomial. So now we just have a trinomial, 1, 2, 3, trinomial, 3 terms, of degree 7. It's 12x to the 7th power minus 6x to the 5th power plus 18x squared. And I'll write this out in expanded form. I have 2 times 3, it's 2 times 2 times 3 times x times x times x times x times x. What is that? 5, 6, 7 minus 2 times 3 times x times x times x times x times x plus 2 times 3, which is 18, times x. So let's just real quick. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3, that's 12, we're good. There's 7 x's multiplied together, which is x to the 7th, minus, so I got a negative. My subtraction symbol here, 2 times 3 is 6, x times itself 5 times, plus 2 times 3 is 6, times 3 is 18, x 2 times. So let's underline what each one of these terms has in common. They each have a 2, at least 1 2, so just 1. Okay, each of them has 1 3. So far I have 2 times 3. Okay, and the fewest, so the smallest power is a 2, which means I have x times x. Well, this is the most x times x's I can factor out, so that's 2 of each one. So that's times x. And the leftovers of each term, they're going to stay behind. We have a negative symbol here, and then we just have a 3. So start with that. So that's going to go inside parentheses. I have 2 times, we're just going to write x to the 5th minus x cubed plus 3. And we're going to clean this up a bit. 2 times 3 is 6, times x is 6x squared. And then inside the leftovers is 2x to the 5th minus x cubed plus 3. So when we are factoring polynomials, we can, or even dividing a polynomial by a monomial, we can expand out the terms in expanded form so we can see each individual piece that's multiplying together, like in the last example, to give me my coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24. This would be 24x to the fourth. But when I break it down into its component pieces, it can be easy to see. Once you get the hang of this, you can start doing it visually. I can understand that factors of 24 would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, and also 24. Okay. If you're in my class, your assignment will be the worksheet for dividing and factoring polynomials. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Good luck.